Andrew, first off, how was your first hit out in the chair, I suppose, in this sort of environment?
Yeah, it was good. It was it's great to come down here to Bunbury and play. I love community football grounds, and I think this is one of the best I've ever seen. So brilliant to come down here and a first full hit out against an opposition, which was good.
I suppose when you look at the way the game played out, the breeze was the significant factor in the end?
Yeah, it was. Clearly, most of the goals were scored up one end of the ground. Would have been a good one for Duggo to win the toss, so I'll have to talk to him about that. But yeah, challenging day in some aspects.
Your game plan at times, you can see it coming to fruition. What did you make of it early on when it sort of was breaking down, but when you got it going, it looked like it really flowed nicely and allowed you to score?
Yeah, I think like out of all practice matches that you play, you learn some things about your game plan that stack up, and you learn some things that don't work that well. So that's the beauty of a practice match. Now we'll go away for a couple of weeks and try and fine tune some things and be ready for round one.
When you look at the structure of your team for round one, Matt Flynn looks like the number one ruckman at the moment. He had a really good game against the big, very good ruckman in Cherry. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, Cherry's one of the best ruckmen in the comp. I thought Flinney competed hard. I think one of the positions we're in at the moment, which is great, is there's real competition for spots. Bailey's been the first ruck for a couple of years now, so we've been open with those guys that the competition's on, and we'll just keep picking it based on form.
Is there room for someone like Archer Reid in that as well, with Oscar Allen coming back? That's a really tall forward line you're looking at there.
Yeah, look, it's always the challenge. But if we're trying to fit good players in the team, it's a good challenge to have, and we'll just keep balancing that out between our tall-small combination.
With Bo Allen, looks like he's ready for AFL football too. Started him on the field today. What did you make of his performance, and what have you made of his last few weeks, I suppose, in those games?
Yeah, so Bo's played a lot of senior footy. He played in the Waffle Premiership last year, so he's come in ready-made. He's learning a lot of stuff as a first-year player, and he's showing some of his traits that why we took him so high in the draft. So he's had a really good pre-season and hopefully set himself up for a great year.
Jack Hutchinson starting on the wing as well ahead of Dewar, and then went into the centre bounce a few times. His versatility must be impressive. Yeah,
Hutch has been really impressive. I think we're still going to work through it for a while where our players are suited best, and really open for Hutch to play either inside or on the wing. So we'll keep working through that.
Are you happy with the signs that you're seeing through the game plan? I know you wanted to implement that Richmond-esque, I suppose, run and stun. Were you happy with how that's sort of coming along? And do you feel like that it's going to take a little bit more time to, not perfect it, but to really understand it?
Yeah, it's going to take quite a lot of time. And there's parts of today that we liked and parts that we clearly didn't get right, which is what practice matches are about. So, yeah, that's our job now, to keep fine-tuning and seeing what works for this group.
Someone like Harley Reid, is he fully fit? He looked a little bit sore at times. He was involved in a few scuffles. Is he someone that you're going to manage heading into round one?
No, Harley's fully fit. He's good to go.
Can I ask you actually about, though, Harley, at some of the contests, he's ended up on the floor a bit, guys pushing him over behind play and that. Did you notice that? Is that something you're going to address maybe with the umpires to try and get a bit more protection?
Look, I didn't notice that today, but umpires do a great job. So I'm sure if that's the case, they'll figure it out and pay the free kicks accordingly.
I know you've spoken about Liam Baker before, but how important is he to this unit already? He hasn't been here long, yet he was sort of marshalling that back line, for the whole game. How important is it to have somebody that can do that?
Carried on a bit when he kicked his goal at the end, didn't he, for a practice match? But look, Liam's an incredibly good player. He's experienced. He plays. He's played under a similar system, so I guess he's got a great understanding of that. He's a good communicator. He's in the leadership group for a reason, and he just displays great behaviours over and over.
You managed Elijah Hewitt today. Obviously played 2 games in 6 days. Do you expect him to be around the mark for round one?
Yeah, he has barely played footy in 2 years, Elijah. So we knew that was going to challenge him, and he's been able to complete most of the pre-season, which is exciting for him. Again, like I mentioned about the player before, it's set him up for a great year.
Harry Edwards down back took some nice marks. Obviously a big year for him after the club lost Tom Barras. What did you make of his combination with Jeremy?
Yeah, well, Nick Larkey's one of the best key forwards in the competition, so I thought Harry did a terrific job on him. He was under the pump there at times and saved us, which is what we expect from our key backs, and it was a good showing today.
What does the next 2 weeks look like for you guys as a club in terms of analysing what you've done here in the last 3 games and then looking forward to round one against Gold Coast?
Yeah, I think the challenge when you have 2 weeks off at this time is you overdo it. So we'll just treat it like a normal game. We'll do our process of a review, and then we'll start our planning for the Gold Coast game. But yeah, I think the beauty is we're going to learn a lot, and it's going to take a long time before we get really elite at executing our game plan and what we're going after. So it's a work in progress, but there's some good signs.
Are you worried? You got the win, but are you worried you coughed up a lot of possessions in the middle of the ground? Like there were big numbers coming from North that your guys didn't match. Is that a concern heading into the season proper?
Sorry, in terms of what did we do?
Just conceding big numbers to mids. I mean, Harry Chisel had 36. I think another 4 of their guys had 20 plus disposals. Your guys aren't matching that, I guess, volume of footy in the middle. Is that a concern?
I understand, yeah. Look, there's a bit of game style in that.
Yeah.
North play a certain way where they share the ball a lot, and they were very good at that today. Look, I'm not really going to compare our mids to other mids in the competition. It's a different game style.
We saw Elliot Yeo out the track a little bit more this week as well. Can you give us an update on how he's progressing?
Yeah, he's good. He's going well. He's probably just a touch ahead of schedule at this point. Just started running, but still got a big block of work now that he's going to have to complete to get himself ready to play, and I'm sure he'll be, itching, trying to get out here and help us play.
Have you penciled in a hopeful return date?
Nah, not yet. There's still a lot to go under the bridge.
Did you get out of this match clean injury-wise?
Yeah, I think we're all good, which is a great result. Yeah.
The pre-season matches are often kind of a game of confidence, I guess, in terms of the takeaway. North Melbourne had better stats, but you guys won the game. Who do you reckon came away with the bigger confidence boost?
Look, ultimately everyone will come away with things they did well. Sorry, mate. Things they did well and things they need to do better. And I think North will be in the same position. We had the game on our terms for periods today, and North had it on their terms for large periods as well. So it's a beauty of practice matches. We'll go away and figure out some ways to get better.
Can I ask you just finally, obviously this is one of the best country grounds you've ever seen. What have you made of the experience down in Bunbury as a whole, and how did you find the ground and the surface and the crowd and everything?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's brilliant. I love the idea of coming down here to the southwest to play. We got a couple of local players from this area, so I know they got a big thrill out of coming down here, and we can't wait to the match during the season when we're down here.
Yeah, what did you think of the fans in particular? Were they rowdy enough?
Well, I got in the air-conditioned box up there, so I don't hear too much of it, but no complaints from the players.
And how many wins this season will you be satisfied with?
We're not really looking at the season at all in terms of that. We clearly got a lot of work to do to improve, and we're just going to focus on that.